was a big starring vehicle for Lee Majors. Now, you have to understand, Lee Majors was a big superstar in the 70s on television because of the $6 million.
He's basically coming right off of $6 million Man when he made this.
This is pretty much his big leap out after $6 million Man. So he was a superstar because of Big Valley and $6 million Man. Then he's married to Farrah Fawcett Majors, and she becomes
makes
huge.
him only more famous.
And then they start Fawcett Majors production. And so the two Fawcett Major productions that Farrah did was her first big studio film since she became a star was a movie called Somebody Killed Her Husband, where the romantic comedy with her and Jeff Bridges, directed by Lamont Johnson. And then the second one is a fairly decent, I wouldn't mind doing it on the show, private detective comedy called Sunburn with her and Charles Grodin and Art Carney. So Lee Majors' two big movies that he was doing through Fawcett Major Productions is Steel, which I think was supposed to be the big one. And then following that up with Killer Fish.
Yeah, Killer Fish.
Yeah, which was an Italian production directed by Antonio Margheriti. And then he Majors went to Canada and did two movies that both got released. One was a dystopian, futuristic race car movie called The Last Race. Yeah. All right, him and Burgess Meredith and a bunch of Canadian actors. And then another kind of Michael Crichton style movie called Agency about ad agencies affecting our minds. And it's like Lee Majors.
That would never happen.
Yeah, Lee Majors, Valerie Perrine, and Robert Mitchum. Anyway, I think Steel has a storyline, but a B++ production. It's a bit of a B movie, but they have a lot of money to spend, so it's got a big cast. They're spending money.
It's like a who's who of TV. It's like the character actors that you've seen in everything.
Absolutely, and they've got the money. They've got the money to spend on the movie. To nothing about it seems rushed. It seems like they had the time to do it right.
Yeah, they're doing a location shoot in St. Louis.
However, unfortunately, this was obviously meant to be a big thing. And I even remember posters for the Steel poster up. But something happened along the way. And I think it's just simply a thing where the movie didn't come out around the time it was supposed to come out. And then another year passes.
The balloon just didn't take off.
And then another half a year passes. And now there's not that excitement about it anymore. They're not pushing it as a Lee Majors, Jennifer O'Neill movie anymore. Now it's simply just a lurid title. So they take the Steel title out and call it Look Down and Die.
Which is a great title.
Which actually is a good title.
I would rather.
Makes it a much more B movie title. And it's not a picture of Lee Majors and the other guys. It's just like a guy hanging from a girder, over a 1,000-foot drop, going, like you have to read that Lee Majors is even fucking in it. Anyway, so that's how I saw it when it opened. Look Down and Die.
Look down and die. There's like a ellipsis there. Like
no. Look down and die.
Just
all right.
Plain look down and die.
Yeah, look down and die. I thought it would be fun to watch the movie with you guys. So we watched it. And this would be a movie that I would have given a C or a C+ to when I saw it at the theaters. All right. Like I said, the idea I give an A to. All right. But I wanted to have a print. I haven't seen it in a long time. And so I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. And then so we ended up watching it. And lo and behold, you guys loved it. You absolutely loved one. And you made me like it a lot more than I did before. I was really, really enjoying it because you guys were having such a good time.
It's a movie about America and what makes America great.
I kind of agree. Look, I agree with you. I had a really, the way that, as much as I love Uzana's Raid, the way I felt a little lesser after watching it this last time, I felt much more bullish about Steel having watched it with you guys. And so we were trying to figure out what to do for the third movie. And then Gala just kept pushing Steel because she wanted to talk about it.
Well, what happened was after I watched it, I was like, I need to see this movie again because I loved it so much. Okay, well, it's not available on streaming. It never had a DVD. I can only get it on VHS. So I'm going to go get it on VHS because I want my mom and I to watch it together. I think it would be like she loves Lee Majors. So she wants to watch it.
Yeah, she's of the age of like Gil Gerard and Lee Majors.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I'm going to get a VHS, I'm going to be pushing like, hey, I have a tape of this. Let's do it on the show. I like it.
Well, look.
Yeah, I think you got 2 tapes. One that so that you could put a tape into Video Archive.
I'm committing a tape to the archives so that it is officially
so that it's
Video
official.
Archives.
S will go. It'll go in the dramas under S. Yeah, by all means. In this instance, we're basing it off of a print, not the video cassette. However, we will rectify that because the video cassette's on its way. But we decided to do it anyway because we had such fun with it. George Kennedy plays this complete builder of buildings, contractor who's a legend in his own time.
Like a total George Kennedy style, working man, blue collar, white collar guy.
Yeah, just like he
owns the company, but he's up there with the men.
Yeah, he's the building version of his character Joe Petroni in the airport movies.
Yeah,
like he runs that airport by his teeth.
Yeah,
and his brawn and his muscle. All right. So Luke Cassidy is building this building. He's in a fight with his brother, played by Harris Yulin,
who runs the trucking company.
Yeah, runs the trucking company.
Who brings the steel to the work site.
And so he has to build the building in a certain time, or else he's going to forfeit his contract. Now it's a tough build and it's a short amount of time, but he can do it. He's Luke Cassidy. He can do it. He can do it. He can do this. And so he's going to do it, and he's doing it. And then this happens in the first scene in the movie. An accident happens, and Luke Cassidy falls off the building, and he dies. And so now his daughter, Cass Cassidy, played by the always beautiful Jennifer O'Neill, she gets control of the contract. So either it's a situation where she makes a deal with her uncle, who the two brothers were in constant battle with each other, trying to take over each other's company. So either she makes a deal with her uncle where she gets either sort of paid off on, 20 cents on the dollar, all right, in order to finish the building, or she finishes the building in the time that she has.
Keeps the company solvent.
Yeah, and fulfills the contract. Now, if she doesn't, she loses everything. She loses the entire company. All right. But if she can fulfill her dad's contract, which her dad could do, but now she has to do it now. And
she's like a woman who wears like white throughout the whole movie and high heels. Her outfits are absolutely stellar throughout the film.
That's a thing on Jennifer O'Neill movies, all right? Is she always has the best wardrobe of any actress in movies from the 70s.
Oh, she's giving Samantha Eggar a run for her money.
She actually does give Samantha Eggar a run for her money. And the thing about it is also, they never say that Cass Cassidy is a famous model, all right, who has now just risen to the occasion because her dad died. But that's how you watch the movie. Yeah. They never say that, but you just assume that she's a famous model, all right, who got roped into this, and we just missed that one piece of exposition dialogue. So the thing is, so she's got a friend in the labor department, played by Art Carney, Pignose, and he goes, well, look, if you're going to try to finish this, there's only a couple of guys on planet Earth that could actually do it. And so she tracks down Lee Majors, who has walked away from this kind of work as a trucker now, but he was one of the great guys. And if anybody can finish this job in the few weeks that they have, it's Lee Majors. He can do it. And so she talks him into joining the team, and he does. But he knows that if he's going to do it, he's not going to be able to do it with just these union guys. He's going to need to put together a team of the best guys out there.
The Magnificent Seven of construction.
And that's where the movie becomes the movie it is. And that's where the movie becomes kind of delicious, as he sets out, just like Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen, to set out that team. So he goes and gets this guy who's like the great high-wire walker. He can go in any height. This guy's the great electrician. This guy's the great crane guy.
This guy's the demolitions guy. The Irish IRA demolitions guy.
Yeah, the IRA guy is the demolition guy. Yeah. And so they literally put together like the Magnificent Seven of construction workers, and they have the 3 weeks or the 4 weeks that they have to finish the building. So in that regards, it plays like a Men on a Mission movie. It plays like a Magnificent Seven movie. And it also plays like a sports movie, because they either going to build the building at the end or they're not. And if they don't, they lose the game. And you actually are committed to really seeing the progress of the building and to see them to fulfill the contract. So you have, I can't remember the name of the Irish guy who's a demolition expert. You have Albert Salmi playing the crazy old coot who runs the crane. You have Richard Lynch playing his standard bad guy character, except he's the bad guy working with the good guys, but he's still kind of a troublemaker.
Yeah.
You have Terry Kaiser, who is my least favorite of the group, or he's the Italian Valentino.
Yeah, the ladies' man.
The ladies' man. And then you have two younger guys that want to be part of this amazing team, which is played by Roger E. Mosley, who played Leadbelly.
Yeah.
In Leadbelly, and a guy named Hunter Von Leer, who I remember from that time period. When they do their initial Wild Bunch walk, that's the best scene of the movie.
Yeah.
When they do their Wild Bunch walk to the construction site, all right? Because, this is it now.
Well, I like how all the other construction workers are like, whoa, look, man, it's so-and-so, it's so-and-so. Whoa, look, it's the legend,
wow,
he's here.
That guy's quit years ago. Oh, wow, he's back. Yeah. That stuff is fucking great.
What I love about this movie is how it shows all aspects of America, both good and bad, and it brings them all together. And it shows that all these disparaging types, the industrialist, blue collar workers, indigenous people, immigrants, and the racist, like Richard Lynch, like the kind of, I can only describe him as what he is, because he's a racist or a bigot, we can call him.
Bigot.
He's a bigot. You get all these guys together, but they're the ones who are building America out of steel.
Yeah.
They're building the skyline, they're building commercial towers.
Yeah.
And they come together to do it. And it's it shows this tapestry of people who normally do not get along, but they get along because they're building the building together. And they're up there, on the girders together. Real men walk in the clouds, I think they say.
Yeah, well, I hadn't thought about it before, but, there is an aspect, even though they don't do it in the same way, there is an aspect of a Howard Hawks' Dangerous Profession movie.
Oh, it's exactly a Howard Hawks' Dangerous Profession movie.
Well, it follows.
Angels have wings.
It follows the structure of it perfectly, because Howard Hawks always has somebody die at the beginning, so you see how fucking dangerous the job is.
Yeah, we know how dangerous this is.
And it really, you don't need to convince me that walking on iron is dangerous. All right,
and they do a good job of making you feel that kind of vertigo.
I'm surprised that more movies haven't taken ironworking as a subject, because you really can't go wrong when you get the cameras way up there, and you have these actors just walking on these iron girders as if it's nothing.
And this movie does that magnificently. These actors are up there moving girders around, walking on, and I know that a lot of it is just sometimes it's 10 feet off the ground.
They still have to walk, even if they're only falling 3 feet. They still have to walk and not fall off.
They've got helicopter shots with George Kennedy up there sitting on a girder on the very top.
I mean, the actors do an amazing job. They all look really comfortable up there. You can tell that they did a lot of work, all right, to get over their skittishness and to be comfortable up on that iron. And it's very impressive, the work that they must have done to be able to do that.
I mean, I love that we're building a commercial tower. We are a tapestry of people coming together to do it, and we're doing it despite all of the interference that we're getting from the corrupt union.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they hang an American flag on the building to show their achievement and that we did it against all odds.
Well, I mean,
this is like a great, almost an inspirational film.
Well, look, the idea is so much fun, and they have a lot of fun with the idea of taking what would normally be a violent adventure in a Western or a war film, and taking that and turning it on its head and making it a workplace adventure. The fact that they're the Magnificent Seven of construction workers is a fucking delicious idea. Yeah. And when they walk like the Wild Bunch, all right, to the site for the first time, as everyone's, oh my God, that one, oh my God, that guy, oh my God, this is the greatest team ever. It actually is exciting. It's actually fun. And Robert Tessier is the other one. I forgot.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
The Cherokee.
Yeah, right. Cherokee, who is literally, he almost could be playing the bigot. Because he looks like a skinhead.
Yeah, well, it's Robert Tessier.
Yeah, but he actually
he's
is
Mr. Clean.
He actually is of First Nations descent. Yeah. He's an Algonquin descent.
The only negative to me, is the bad guys. They are, and Harris Yulin is a fantastic actor. He's
from
stuck.
Scarface. You can't shoot a cop.
Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck with the functionary role that he took just for the money. All right, but the thing about it though is, they're perfunctory. They don't quite work. All right. The whole fight in the warehouse doesn't, is just is weak sauce. If there was more thoughtfulness to the way the bad guys work, I think this movie could be a complete home run. As it is, I think it's a triple. It's a really good triple that gets to home. It gets to home because its idea is so good, and also it's just fun. The cast, I even think Lee Majors is less than, but he's still. Jan Michael Vincent would have been amazing, but I really like. Well, I think Richard Lynch steals the movie. I think it becomes Richard Lynch's movie at a certain point, and by the end, it really becomes Richard Lynch's movie. He kind of has to find the moment. Him and Roger E. Mosley.
Well, Well, I mean, it's the bigot and the black dude, and
I kind of feel they've gotten over that by that.
Well,
point.
they get over it long before. They get over it at the beginning of the third act. By then, it's like we're in this together. Mm-hmm. The movie is written by Lee Chapman, a woman, from a story by Peter Davis and Rob Ewing. So I'm guessing this was some kind of assignment, maybe.
Yeah, it sounds like
assignment writing. But I wanted to mention her because she wrote one of my very, very, very favorite episodes. I mean, this woman wrote like everything, Burke's Law, Mission Impossible, Takes a Thief, Mod Squad, just writing on everything. So she's like as accomplished a TV professional
as these actors are.
As all of these actors are. But she wrote one of my very, 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 very favorite Wild Wild West episodes, which was from the first season. She did 6 episodes of Wild Wild West. But along with another writer, Jackson Gillis, she wrote The Night of the Whirring Death, which is absolutely one of my favorite Migaletto Loveless episodes. And it's all about him sending toys to people to like.
I wonder if she wrote one of the William Whitney episodes because I think he directed the pilot and he directed a few in the first season.
That was a Mark Rydell episode. That episode, and it's such a fabulous episode because Migaletto Lovelace's reason, his raison d'être, is that he wants to create a state for children to live in peace. It's like this bizarre MO for Migaletto Loveless to have. And so I'm like a big champion of hers. And this movie didn't disappoint to me as far as like, script goes. It was fabulous.
No, if the bad guys were stronger and weren't just, like I said, perfunctory, it would be a horse of a different color. But the film really, I had a blast watching it with you guys. That's why you guys were responding to, you guys just kind of got the spirit that the film was in and you reflected that spirit back out into the auditorium.
Just dying business. I'm single. I'm looking for my Lee Majors. Almost, or maybe like it gives George C. Scott sex appeal in the hospital a run for his money. Jennifer O'Neill is also the kind of woman that I want to be. We were talking about the hospital and I was saying, I love how her dialogue in that is so great. Jennifer O'Neill, when she's in the truck with Lee Majors and then like the truck stop hooker comes in.
Floozy. The truck stop floozy.
The floozy. Or his girlfriend.
There's no indication that money is being exchanged. She's just like what do you call it? Like a fangirl.
Actually,
to truckers.
She's my co-writer. She's my co-writer.
Yeah, keep my co-writer.
But I love it when like she's in there, she's trying to like give him the business proposition, and then like the floozy comes in and is kind of like trying to like, I'll be in the back, like when you're ready, like you can get it on. And she just is like, stop the truck. I don't have time. You're not the man that I thought you were, and just leaves.
Which is totally Gala. Just take note, everybody.
And I loved that because that's exactly what he needed to have for his wake-up call.
Why he shows
chases
up.
her, and he chases her back to the building because now it's like he needs to redeem himself.
And that's because this is written by a woman. This is written by Lee Chapman. She knows what's needed.
And when Quentin's saying like the villain of like the brother in the movie is like not very strong, I completely agree with that. Like that's not strong, but like I don't really know if like that is the villain. Like I think the villain is actually, it's like because Lee Majors and Jennifer O'Neill come from 2 different walks of life. And they come together, and the villain in the movie, I think, is just like their differences.
Time is the villain. Time is the villain.
As a woman,
I think when the team actually has what looks like a Batman fight in a with Batman with the Joker's minions in a warehouse, I think you can call them villains.
Where they like attack it with.
You're
guns.
laughing because it's exactly what it was.
And also the piece of wood, on that guy.
But I'm not holding that against the movie. That's actually one of the things I find charming about the movie.
That's not the part I find charming.
And actually, and just so that we know that we're, just so we all know that I'm not bagging at all on Harris Yulin because the guy is.
Harris Yulin is a fantastic actor.
He's an incredible actor.
He's
an absolutely incredible
He's stuck
actor.
with a terrible role. He knows the role's terrible.
He might be showing, but he's actually in maybe one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek DS9.
Oh, which one? Which is he in?
He plays Amin Maritza, who is basically the Mengele character who was running like a death camp.
Oh, you mean the Cardassian?
Yeah, and the Cardassian and Amin Maritza. No, I'm not that guy. Who cowers under the table.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a powerful performance, and it's directed by Jim Conway.
Oh wow,
who's my favorite.
James L. Conway. Yeah,
yeah, James L. Conway. To me, he's Jim. my pal Jim.
Hangar 18. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Beyond and Back. I think
I like Beyond and Back.
That's a really good
Bogans?
episode of DS9.
Yeah, Hunt for Noah's Ark and like
In Search of Noah's Ark.
In Search of Noah's Hunt for Noah's Ark. No, I love Jim Conway. I think Jim Conway directs the very best episodes. He also did Death Wish on
Death Wish with Garrett with the
Voyager.
great Garrett Graham.
He directs the very, very best episodes of Star Trek, as well as all the good stuff on the Orville. Yeah,
James L. Conway directs episodes of the Orville?
Yeah. What's great about the Orville is that they were smart enough to bring a whole bunch of Star Trek guys when Paramount was basically flushing those guys down the toilet. Seth realized, hey, these guys are freaking geniuses, and brought James Conway aboard. And
I like Bruce A. Pittman, director of Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Jennifer Neal is really good in this. One of the qualities that Jennifer Neal had that was very special to her is she had very, very, very good camaraderie with her male co-stars. It's surprising, all the sexy guys out there that, even though they've done a zillion movies with this actress versus that actress, how rare you see that actors actually have chemistry together. That there's something fun about them being together per se. But Jennifer Neal was very good at that. She was very, when you see her with James Coburn in The Carrie Treatment, or you see her with Donald Sutherland in a dog of a movie called Lady Ice, they're still good together. She has a neat dynamic with these strong men. She has nobody had a dynamic with Michael Sarrazin, but you put them together in the reincarnation of Peter Proud, and they have chemistry.
Yeah.
All right. And then when she goes to Europe and she's making movies with Giancarlo Giannini, they're fantastic together. But even a stiff like Chuck Norris, especially at the beginning of his career with a Force of One. Yeah. There's a spark. I think she's doing both their jobs. She's doing his job and her job, but she's doing it. And you feel that with her and Lee Majors in this film.
Well, that's part of the reason why I love this movie, is because it's like, yes, like the aspect of like bringing together the team and like actually accomplishing, like, as Roger said, like all the different pieces of America coming together to make a building. It's fantastic. But I love the romance between them. It is so believable that like you have her who's like the daughter of this builder, and him who has frozen at the top of a building and can't return because he feels such deep shame. And then they fall in love. And it's like, I get it. I love it. I see it. It's like, I see it in the truck. I see it when he comes back. I see that she believes in him. I see that she wants to be treated as an equal. I love the scene where it's like they go to who is like the friendly older gentleman that is
Art
Carney.
Carney. Forgot to mention him.
And there's like, they're in the pasture and they're getting served tea, and Lee Majors is like totally out of his element. And then they go and they're like looking at the horses, and they start just having like this really friendly conversation, and they're telling each other the differences, and he's trying to convince her that like it wouldn't work out between them basically. And he's like, I'm not emotional. And she's like, well, I am. And you're missing out on life, not feeling things. And it's such just like an honest thing that she says to him. And I think that's part of what helps him in his redemption arc, like acknowledge like what he's been feeling and what he's just been trying to hide, of like his deep shame that he
pushing
has.
Down.
Yeah.
And it's just, his redemption arc is so satisfying. The action that leads up to it is really great. There's like, this movie has it all. It has heartbreak amongst the people, amongst the guys. Like I almost started crying at one point when something bad happens. I love all the characters. They're all so different. Like they're all unique. They all have their little backstories. Like the IRA guy is straight from Hennessy.
Yeah.
Like literally just like stumbled into
He literally could have been in Hennessy.
Yeah, he's literally working for Rod Steiger. In
literally.
Hennessy.
And I just have to say, this episode kind of has a theme because all three movies feature like First Nations actors and characters. Like we got the Apache in both those movies, and we got Cherokee in this one.
Yeah, we have the Apache doctor. Yeah, the Apache medicine man. Yeah.
So that's my little theme I found.
Quentin, between this film and Scanner, she did a movie called Cloud Dancer.
Yeah, with David Carradine.
Yeah, the Barry Brown movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen, and Joseph Bottoms. Is that like a Waldo Pepper style movie? It looks like a lot of aerial flying.
It's a lot of. It's very much like Waldo Pepper.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah, there's
that Barry Brown guy only did like 2 movies.
Yeah. It's David Carradine is terrific, and it's one of his best leading roles during that time period. I have it. I'd be happy to watch it. It has.
I'd really like to see that.
It has thrilling air stuff in it, and
because you know how much I love that.
Yeah. No, we should definitely watch it. Jim Sheldon said he considers it one of David Carradine's best lead performances.
Great. Well, and if Jim Sheldon says it, then because he holds the irons to the fire.
Yes, he does.
So on September 21st, 1978, stuntman AJ Bakunis did the high fall stunt fall in front of 1,000 people, and upon landing on the airbag, it actually split. And he sadly did not survive. So we dedicate this segment to him, AJ. Thank you for doing that crazy record-holding fall.
That's the fall that happens at the beginning of the movie with George Kennedy, and the movie is actually dedicated to him in the film. So somebody wanted to watch Steel?
So if somebody wants to watch Steel, you guys, I'm sorry, it is not streaming. There is no DVD of it. You're going to have to pick up a Vestron VHS.
Yay!
And then make a rip and put it on
Or become
YouTube.
my friend and come over to my house and watch it in my screening room.
You guys find a VHS of this, watch it. I really loved it. I think you will too.
It's a worthy film.
I got mine from, I want to thank everyone first off that helped me find this tape, because I had to find 2 because I wanted to commit one to the archives because
you actually have to commit one to the archives in order for us to include it.
Yes, exactly.
So I wanted to commit one to the archives.
And my drama section and the S's are waiting for its Steel.
So I want to thank everyone who helped me find it. You guys know who you are. I ended up picking up my copy for $25 from my man Frankie Latina and his Video Vault.
Wow. This is going to go right next to Steel Magnolias, and what would the other one be?
Maybe what would that that Shaq movie Steel?
Yeah, there's also that Shaq movie
we don't have that one. Steelyard Blues, maybe. All right.
Yeah.